All right. As I said, by the Treaty of Vienna, they have agreed to develop a system of military and political balance to maintain peace and stability in Europe. It was simple. All these major four powers, they will not attack each other. They will not attack the interest of other one. If any one country of these four attacks the interest of one of these major powers, all other three will be joining against him. It was to maintain the balance of power. If one of these four major countries attack a country which is not among them, not of their interest, they will not interfere. They will not support the other one. That was the norms of or a system which they were following, which was fine until 1871, let us say. What happened in 1871 we have just studied. Italy and Germany unified as a nation states. First it was Italy and then it was Germany. And these two powers, when they came in, when they unified as a nation, they also become major power player in Europe. Unfortunately, this system what they put in place to balance the power didn't work. If you remember, when, say for example, Prussia was attacking Austria, Britain and Russia just stood silent. They didn't go to help Austria, which was according to their agreement, they should have done that agreement or the system what they put in place. Russia and Britain should have helped Austria against the attack of Prussia, which was one of the major power. They didn't. When Prussia attacked France, it's the same. They didn't see it as a problem. But Prussia then become unified as Germany and become a more powerful nation. And Italy was a non-player at all. Italy was, say, non-existent in the time of Treaty of Vienna. But when they unified as a nation, as Count Cavour imagined, when they unified as a nation, they become a major player in Europe. They were forced to contain with. And these major four players failed to see that. That was their first mistake, if I say so. Because when Italy attacked France, or when Italy, the Sardinia Piedmont forces or Garibaldi's forces attacked Prussia or Austria or France, nobody else moved. So that was a tactical error happened from the major players. So once Italy and Germany were unified, now there were five major players. Austria was there, Italy is there, Germany is there, France is there, and Russia is there. Also, there is a sixth one which is just out, which is Britain. So these six players are trying to expand their imperialistic ambitions. The only chance, as I said, was Balkans. What they did, they supported Ottoman Empire. All the six players supported Ottoman Empire because it was their need that Ottoman Empire stays. If Ottoman Empire fails, one of these six will expand their ambition in Balkans. To prevent that, they wanted the Ottoman Empire to be strong and supported. And it will automatically balance the power. Because Ottoman Empire is powerful, and then if Russia expands try to expand their territory, all other players can support Ottoman Empire to prevent it. So that is why Ottoman Empire was supported by these European players to prevent expansion of territory or a possibility of resources by other major players. So if Russia is supporting it just because he want to prevent all other five to have any gain in that Balkan region. It's the same for every player. And about Balkan region, they have a very intensive nationalist feeling. I had been in many of these countries, and I know personally how they feel about their ethnicity, their country, their nationalism, etc. The biggest offense for all these Slavic people is to offend their country, not their family. If you offend one by their family, they may stand it. But if you offend them with the name of their nation, they will not stand it. It is an extreme version of nationalism. This the same thing was used against them during the Balkan crisis. Balkan crisis is the next topic we'll be learning. That we will leave for next class. But try to read more about imperialism of end of 19th century and the events of Balkan crisis. Why Balkan crisis is important? Because that led to the First World War, where it started from the Treaty of Vienna. So that, how far was the effect? Treaty of Vienna 1815. It's almost 100 years. That means one decision they took, one action they took, or one inaction they took, resulted in a world war of 100 years. Or the small imperialistic ambitions of major players in Europe and small conflicts here and there sparked a world war. That was importance of Balkan crisis. So my suggestion for you, when you get a little bit of time, if you get a chance, read more about it. The more you know, history is more interesting. It was not a big incident which led to the First World War. It was small conflicts. As in life, small things, small disagreements and quarrels makes a big fight. That's exactly happened in history as well. Okay, we will study about that later. So read your text thorough, go through it. There's enough information in it, and prepare your notes. In visualizing the nation, the slide visualizing the nation in just the symbols used is enough for note. And nationalism, imperialism, whatever is on the screen, please write it as note, but you need to know to explain more about it. Okay, read the text and listen to the narration. Have a great day ahead. We will see you during the live session. Please do attend it. Come up with your doubts. When you have doubt, it's more interesting, the live classes. Otherwise, it will be just one-sided lectures, which I don't like at all. Even the disadvantage of video classes is that there is no live interactions, which unfortunately is how things are. Anyway, have a great day. See you by noon.